Hey, how's it going, guys? Mr. Boss for the win here, and in today's Grand Theft Auto 5 video, I'm going to be talking to you guys about if the recent addition of Grand Theft Auto Online DLC vehicles has signaled the end of Benny's original motorsports. That's right, I saw a thread created by Zombified Andy on the GTA Forum site, and I thought it was interesting enough, and I wanted to bring this discussion to you guys here on my channel. Now, bonus points if you can kind of figure out the theme of the garage I've got going on right now. You'll see me kind of hop in and out of it every time during this video. If you've been watching my recent live streams, you probably know, but if you can develop a theme here, bonus points for you. But like I said, we're going to be talking about, has recent vehicles added into the game kind of signaled the end of Benny's without Rockstar really stating it's the end of Benny's. So before we can talk about that, let's talk about what Benny's has been used for. So it was originally introduced in the Lowriders DLC back in October of 2015, so almost a year ago. And we know that it included all the content in Lowriders, all the hidden vehicles with that. It was then used in January of 2016 when Rockstar introduced the two Supercar variants, which I think are awesome, the Sultan RS and the Banshee 900R, as a part of the Drop Zone update. And then it was used one last time in spring of 2016 for Lowriders Customs Classics for 6 total new vehicles. And since then, that has been it. There's been no other vehicle that's been introduced in the game that has been compatible with Benny's shop. Now, believe it or not, Benny's has actually been used more often than most of the features that Rockstar add into the game. If you think about it, Benny's, the auto shop, has been spread and used over 3 updates: Lowriders, the Drop Zone update, and Lowriders Customs Classics, whereas most new features that are added into the game are typically only used in one update. For example, the CEO offices are only used for finance and felony stuff. The biker clubhouses are only used in the biker stuff. The majority of the things from heists are only used in that update. You can go on with a list of other DLCs that were added into Grand Theft Auto Online, but Benny's shop has scaled from multiple different updates, but it looks like it might now be slightly coming towards an end. Now, I know some of you guys might be happy about this because Benny's was a pretty expensive shop to bring vehicles to. I mean, you would take a $10,000 lowrider, and by the time you've gotten the upgrade fee done and you've put a couple different customization options on there, you're looking at multiple hundreds of thousands of dollars, if not millions, by the time you're finally done customizing the car. So some people will say that this is good that Benny's looks to be dead. Some people will say this is bad. They wish they received more vehicles. But let's talk about why I think it's the end of Benny's. And it has to do with the recent set of vehicles that Rockstar have added into the game. And it started with Cunning Stunts. So the Cunning Stunts vehicles were a perfect opportunity for Rockstar to introduce more sports and supercars into Benny's. We know that Benny's isn't a lowrider shop only with the addition of the Sultan and the Banshee. So it's not as if Rockstar was limited in terms of what they could bring in there. They broke that barrier with the Drop Zone update. So the 3 supercars that were added with Cunning Stunts would have been perfect for the Benny's shop. So one of them was obviously the Tyrus, which has a livery on there. We obviously know the RE7B has a livery as well. Same with the ETR1. All of them have liveries that can be applied. Why couldn't we do that in Benny's? They also had Benny-fied interiors. You could see extremely unique modifications on the inside in terms of custom seats, what looks to have been custom interiors, including on the ETR1. It had like custom dash lights as well. That would have been awesome features for Benny's, to see the inside and be able to customize some of the interiors and to change some of the liveries, get some more options on there. But it kind of seems like Rockstar didn't want to go that route, because when you bought the car, all those unique interior customization mods were already on there, and you were forced to choose a livery. It wasn't something you could kind of go for inside of the shop itself. And those are just the supercar examples. There are a bunch of other vehicles that were added in Cunning Stunts that had liveries, custom interiors, unique customization options that would have almost been perfect for Benny's shop, but for whatever reason, they weren't added into the game. Now, that's not all. Do you guys remember the Drift Tampa? That was also added with Cunning Stunts. The Drift Tampa was like perfect for Benny's. It literally looked like it would have been perfect for Benny's, but once again, it was not added, which is such a shame. In fact, the Drift Tampa really didn't have any customization whatsoever, which is more of a shame in and of itself, but the fact that it wasn't added to Benny's is such a bummer either. So not having the Drift Tampa in Benny's was pretty bad. That was something that got me really disappointed. In fact, everyone saw this car and was like, that has to be something that's in Benny's. But recently, Rockstar also just released another vehicle that was a perfect candidate for that customization shop, and that is the Rat Rod Tornado. You know, it's got the crazy exposed engine. It has the unbelievably cool customization options with the giant back wheels, but unfortunately, we can't change any of that. I'm not sure why Rockstar didn't implement that into Benny's. I would have loved to have been able to change the back wheels, whether making them wider, thicker, smaller, thinner. Doesn't really matter. I would have loved to apply like a livery on there. That would have been super cool as well. And it just seems like another missed opportunity for Rockstar to expand the shop at Benny's, because they did so much for this mod shop, and to see them not use it after Lowriders Customs Classics is kind of a shame, because they developed the website, they obviously opened up the shop, and there just hasn't been any vehicles that have been added back to this site, which once again is very, very unfortunate. And it kind of makes you wonder, what was the point of Rockstar like teasing the supercars the way they did with the Sultan and the Banshee? Those were an incredibly nice addition to the game, but I think we need more out of Benny's. In fact, I believe there's a ton of vehicles in game right now that could be amazing Benny's cars if they were given the chance to go in there. These could be sports cars, these could be compact cars, they could be sedans, trucks. It doesn't really matter. There's a ton of great examples in the game right now. I think the Comet would be awesome. I think the Futo could be pretty cool as well. Even vans and trucks like the Rumpo Custom could be awesome to bring into Benny's. But even more so recently, it kind of seems that Rockstar is just using the name Benny's as a name and not something that is required for vehicles to have certain levels of customization. I mean, if we look at some of the new bikes that have been added into the game with Bikers Update, they have almost extreme level of Benny's modification, nearly being able to upgrade everything. However, all of this is now handled in the Los Santos custom shop. So what I think is that Benny's will eventually be utilized when there are vehicles that fit the mold for the game to provide deeper customization for those cars. I think it's ultimately just going to be up to Rockstar to choose which vehicles they want to spend more time and effort making changes to in order to have them upgraded into Benny's. Now, if we want to get technical here, the reason that Benny's works is because you actually don't modify the base vehicle. The only thing you're doing is changing and adding things on top of it. So an example here would be the Slam Van. It's why you can't just chop the top off of it or make the Tornado Custom a hard top. This is something that Mach 1 Bud has stated, and it really does make sense because we can't change the core models of the vehicles, and that's why only some cars will work and others won't. So another reason why I might think that Benny's could be dying is because of the community response to Benny's. I think that the design, the idea is pretty awesome, but the implementation of the cost, I think, turned a lot of people off. The cost was certainly one of the most off-putting parts about Benny's. The upgrades were incredibly expensive, and even the most basic scratches or repairs would cost you thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of dollars. So it's almost as if Rockstar wasn't encouraging us to use the Benny's services, or if we were, we had to be so careful with the vehicles that we were going to be ending up spending so much money there. And I even think there's going to be another vehicle coming out soon, the Hyuga Classic van, that would be perfect for Benny's. Has a ton of customization, but all of it is going to be done inside of the Los Santos custom shop, as you guys have seen me do in previous videos. So I think there's two people that are on the fence here. The one side that says Benny's is too expensive, that the customization is just way too much, and that there's a limited number of cars, and that they just don't want to see anymore. And then there is another side of the fence that is either okay with the price or is fine with it and wants to see other cars added into the game, whether it's an Elegy or whether it's a Futo or a Comet or something along those lines. I'm kind of split 50-50. I do think the price is a little outrageous, but I still think there's a ton of potential left here in Grand Theft Auto Online. So bottom line, I want to hear from you guys in the comment section down below. Do you think Benny's is dead? Do you think it had a good run with the 3 DLCs it was primarily featured on? Or do you think that sometime down the road in 2017, Rockstar might introduce more vehicles to be added with Benny's? I know it's unlikely, but apparently the next DLC is supposed to be the high risk, high reward vehicle based importing and exporting. Maybe Benny's has something to do with that if you use it as a chop shop. I'm really not too sure. I'd love to hear from you guys though in the comment section down below. Do you think Benny's is dead? Do you think it's going to be revived sometime in the future? Let me know what you think down below there. If you did go on to enjoy the video though, a like rating would of course be awesome. And also subscribe to my YouTube channel if you are new or you like daily GTA 5 videos like this. With all the way guys, like I said, thanks so much for watching. Take care and I'll see you guys in the next video.